Hello and welcome to another episode of Ciano on the Sidelines, the final episode we'll be doing for the fall season. We'll be wrapping up all the fall sports teams around the castle and how they did on their 2025 schedules. I'm Max Zubak, joined by Nate Schwartz and our athletic director, Mr. Ken Ciano. How are you guys doing today?
Well, I'm always doing good. Every day's a great day. I love being here. Excited to wrap this season up. How about you, Nate?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to kick off this show. I feel like it's going to be a good show.
Yes, a lot to celebrate here,
right? We can
right?
jump right into it if you'd like.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's get right to work here. It's an exciting one.
We're going to kick off the show with this segment on a team we've seen grow a lot this season, the field hockey team. Taking a look at their stats, the freshman Alexis Johnson, 15 goals, 6 assists, leading the team in both goals and assists. It's insane that a freshman stepped up this big, and you're going to be able to watch her for the next 3 years and how she's going to grow.
Yeah, what's cool about this wrap-up show is that she's no longer the freshman. She's now a sophomore, technically, as when it comes to field hockey terms. But those 15 goals, 6 assists, we're excited to see what she can do in the future. We know we have some talent coming up. Some of the younger kids in the middle schools are pretty good, so we're excited to get them up here and see where that program can go from here.
If we look at their bracket from this season, they didn't have a great playoff performance, but that doesn't take anything away from the regular season they had. They lost in the first round.
Yeah, to Seneca. So I was at that game, and Seneca was an excellent field hockey team. They ended up playing in the final against Point Borough. So Point Borough won that game 1-0. So our girls put up a fight. It was 8 goals in the first half, 8-0. We ended up playing. We actually won the second half 1-0. So it was a good game. Good game for us.
Now, the development over the last 2 years of this program of field hockey, what are your thoughts on seeing it evolve over the last couple of seasons?
Well, if you would have asked me a year ago at this point for playing a playoff field hockey game, I probably would have laughed at you. So, that just gives you everything you need to know right there. So, what Coach Morello and Coach Gall are doing with the young group is awesome. And now there's some expectations and see where, the team can grow from here.
I think the biggest change they're going to have to prepare for is losing Gracie West in net. Obviously, they have a lot of people coming up and a lot of youth already here to help them out in the field. But when on the line in the net protecting the ball from getting in and scoring against them, that's going to be the biggest hole to fill.
Absolutely. So hopefully it's kind of like a twofold thing. Hopefully we find some pieces on the defensive end that will make the goalie's life a little easier, but replacing Gracie is not going to be any easy task. And good luck to them figuring that one out.
And the seniors that stuck it out throughout the hardships of this program, it's props to them because they've really shown the growth throughout those troubles of the seasons. And this year, I feel like it all paid off.
Yeah, I know I touch on it a lot, how we're last year we're playing 9 on 11, and, those girls could have packed it in at any time. So you got to give them a lot of credit to take the team from where it was, to where it's at now. So good for them.
Now, we'll revisit field hockey later on in the show when we have Coach Galt and all-star player Alexis Johnson on the show. But for now, we'll keep pushing it to how the girls' volleyball season went. If we look at their stats and standings, they had a pretty all-around year. There's some ups, some downs, but they got their footing late in the year with a really long win streak. And Ariana Margarin showed out. A lot of seniors showed out in their leadership roles, stepping up from juniors to fill those holes. It was a really solid season from them.
Oh, it definitely was. So, that little streak we had there towards the end into the playoffs was awesome. Awesome to be a part of. It kind of sets you up. You want to be playing well when you're getting to the postseason. And it was just really cool to see them kind of excelling at the right time of the season. So they did a great job.
And their junior varsity roster is so invested in every game that they're there. It's definitely helped for the varsity team, but also helped for the coaches to know that they have an eager group ready to come up and fill some spots on the roster.
Yeah. So just the overall environment is just super positive. It's fun to be around. Everyone is invested. Invested is probably the great word to use there, Max. So I appreciate you saying that one. Everyone's into it. So the future's bright. So you have Ariana come back for a year. You lose a couple seniors. So I think we lose 3 or 4 seniors.
Yeah.
And as always, they're going to be tough to replace, but we had the pieces there to kind of make another run. We played well in the first 2 playoff games. We go down to Cedar Creek. All right, that was a great game to be part of. We took care of business there. And who did we end up losing to again? It's right off the top of my head here. I'm forgetting here.
All I know is we had the longest run for volleyball. They had the longest run. They made it to semis.
Yeah, we went to semis, and it's right off
I think it was Seneca.
Seneca, yes, it was Seneca. I'm forgetting. I was there for field hockey, and then Seneca again for the semifinal round for volleyball. So that was a tough game. But
How does it feel having a former player who played at Sterling come back and coach the girls now, as Coach Brennan played here and she graduated here?
yeah, so it's just like a testament to the school and like what this family environment's about. So anybody that comes home and is alumni and coaches at the school they played at, it just shows you what this place is really about and that we care about the people here and we're excited to have them come back and coach and give back to the programs they were part of when they were younger.
I mean, another thing with volleyball is there's a lot of players that I've seen, because I've stayed for some of the JV games throughout. There are players like Abby Hinman who's had a lot of exponential growth throughout. It's been getting better and better, and I hope to see her on the court for the senior year. Players like that, it gives the program some hope. And obviously losing key players like Skylar Anderson, who's been a key role, Janelle Rodriguez, Abby D'Annunzio, that's a lot of big names to lose. So I'm excited to see how they progress in the coming seasons.
Yeah, so talking to Coach Brennan, she's really excited about what they have coming back and the girls who developed on JV. So, we'll see what they got next year.
We're going to move back outside to look at the boys soccer team and how they wrapped up the rest of their season.
Boys soccer had an interesting season.
I think we're in the girls here, guys. I think we're in the girls here. All right, so they ended up with 9, 8, and 2, a couple ties there. Again, another team that played a lot of freshmen, so the future is very bright for them. They got the nice win in the first round of playoffs versus Collingswood. They ended up losing to Haddonfield, even though they tied the game with like 15 seconds left. It was real awesome. Monty had a nice shot on goal and didn't finish, but Miss Allison Brown finished with a nice goal to tie the game there, and then we lost in overtime. But the future's very bright for that program as well.
Look at how the bracket went for them. Obviously, like we had mentioned, Collingswood 4-0, that was here at the Castle. They ended up beating them with a Montgomery Dream hat trick as well in that game. Mm-hmm. It was a wonderful game for me to broadcast being up there. And then we visited Haddonfield the following Saturday, or the same week that Saturday. And that goal in the 79th minute, that was huge.
It was exciting. I was right there by the team, right there near the bench, and just to see everyone go crazy, because you kind of got that vibe a little bit like, hey, we're kind of cutting this one close here. This game might be over. And then all of a sudden we were able to get one in finally, and it just felt like everyone was going nuts. It felt like we had all the momentum in that first overtime, so losing the second one was a little tough.
If we look at their final stats on the year, this team, it was the Monty Dram show throughout most of the stats-wise, but that does not take away from any of the other players that are getting the ball. A lot of good scorers. Shay Sheehan, a lot of good freshmen alongside her, Katie Claiborne, Allison Brown, a junior. There's a lot of younger players that'll come out. Lily Byrne, Taylor Baker, that are still here.
Yeah, Molly Kay. They're returning a lot.
They have a lot of good players coming back.
A lot like field hockey, though. You have to replace your goalie. And, obviously we know that Maddie's a fantastic goalie. It's going to be a tough one to replace. And, it's Coach K's biggest job right now to find that goalie, prepare them for another D playoff run.
Now, we had our Purdue signing day for Monty Dram earlier on. What was that experience like being in here, getting to have that happen for the school?
Well, I mean, honestly, since I've been here in the 2 years, besides like the state championship run and everything, that was probably one of the coolest things, because like what sports is all about is like fulfilling like a lifelong dream. And you think about all the kids who are playing here. We have 200 athletes that play a season here. So that's, 600 athletes throughout the course of the year. But only one of them was able to finally fulfill like that scholarship, D1 scholarship, and it just was awesome to be part of that. Like I was actually appreciative to be part of that. So I'm glad Monty helped me set that up. I know we kind of dropped the ball on last year's signing day. We're kind of picking it up and covering some bases now, so it was awesome for Monty and for that girls soccer program.
Now moving over to the boys soccer program, we had mentioned before, they had their up and downs. As you take a look at their stats, they were the 3 seed in the playoffs. They defeated Metford Tech in a pretty solid opening round at the Castle. Then they hosted Haddonfield, lost to overtime in a heartbreaker. And then they had 4 all-conference selections, and Jason Hoffman on the defense, a winger and Connor Maynard, and then Wiley and Ethan Weitzel in the midfield. Ethan Weitzel missed the majority of the season with a leg injury, but still showed his impact in the stats. He had 3 goals and 3 assists on the year. This was an interesting team to watch throughout this year, especially coming out from the state championship.
Yeah, so the cool part about that list is those are all conference athletes, and they're all coming back. So, we're in it there in a 1-0 game in overtime with Haddonfield, and we could have easily won that game, and we had the entire roster coming back. So we're going to be pretty deep next year. We're expecting to go on another long run next year, so hope those boys are ready to get in that new weight room and prepare themselves for some more success.
A group that has had a successful run this year was cross country. Let's take a look at how their year was. Girls going 7-3. That's huge for our program. And then the largest cross country team in almost a decade for Sterling High School.
Yeah, to me, it felt like we had 100 kids out there every day. Every time you look up at the track, like I mentioned before in past episodes, there's this. It just feels like it's just packed, and they're constantly running around. They're going through the complex, running around town, getting their work in. I mean, they have to be the hardest working group here in the fall.
It shows too. So on the graphic too, it said both of them qualified for the state championship.
Yes, they did.
So
yeah.
they're all out there working, and it's paying off for them, which is good to see.
Yeah, and then again, 2 young teams. On the boys' side, we have pretty much everybody coming back. The girls' side, we have a lot coming back as well, so the team should be very competitive again next year.
I mean, they might be coming back sooner than they think. The Turkey Trot's coming up soon as well around the castle. But also that boys' team, we kind of overshadowed. 4 runners under 18 minutes, 2 under 17. That's huge.
It's huge and huge. And some of these courses that they're competing at are hard. Like Homedale's hard. So when they're going there for states, it's like not an easy course, and those numbers are just impressive. I know that at the end of the day, they're not happy with some of the numbers they had, like Brady Kay and Gio and them, and they'll tell you that they could definitely run better. But, I mean, it's impressive what they're doing their junior year. So, again, another team that we're looking forward to next year, hopefully to go on a deep run.
I mean, any running from them is going to be better running than you see out of me.
Oh, me too.
Now, a group out of esports, take a look at their final results for this evening. The Smash Brothers side went undefeated. One of our rivals had their first year. They only took 1 win away on the year. So it's kind of, how do you say it? Tale of two halves. That's how it was. Two very different sides.
Look, we're good at one thing. We might not be good at the other. That's okay. But, obviously we got to win in there, and they'll improve in that area as, new kids come into the school and get involved in that program. But we're killing it in Smash Bros. Again. Hopefully piggyback off another championship, another run. So we're excited for them.
In their bracket, Sterling does have the 1 seed over top of everyone
Rightfully
else in the
so.
bracket
Yep, rightfully
for this
so.
group. And I mean, they stay pretty consistently there. This playoff bracket will start Saturday. They're pretty consistently towards the top in the seeding.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were a lower seed last year, if I remember correctly. Like they were like 3. But again, they're towards the top, and this year they're, well deserving of that 1 seed. And we'll see how they do in Smash Bros.
I mean, they have their all-stars on the roster, one particular one being Richard Williams. Richard Williams had a really solid season, as he tends to.
What is he thinking about there, right? What is he thinking about? Who am I going to use right now? Which character am I going to use? Who's going to set me up for success? I don't know, man.
He's thinking about how much he's getting paid for doing the Tech Crew stuff in K. That's what he's thinking. He's thinking about the check. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah, look at him. He's a man. Richie's a man.
Girls tennis reached some new goals this year. Let's see how their year went. 11-11 overall. That's back-to-back 10-win seasons. It's the first time since the 2017-2018 season. We're improving year by year. Hopefully they can go out next year and have a back-to-back 10-plus win, and they can just keep on growing off of that.
Yeah, so we constantly talk about this team and goals, and they have very specific goals. Like they want that double-digit win season. They want to host a first-round playoff game. Look, beating Gateway for the first time since 2011, I mean, it's huge. It's 14 years in the Kelowna Conference, so it's great to get those wins. So Coach Strauss does a great job of putting together like little achievable goals that they constantly can get, and they're taking care of business. And again, they're only going to get better.
I mean, seeing that was 4 different doubles pairings for first-time varsity wins. 3 people had their first singles wins on varsity. A freshman also was on that list. Mm-hmm. So it shows a lot of promise for a lot of these people coming back, and girls tennis is a pretty extensive program. We've seen a lot of people come in and come out of it, and it stays pretty consistently a large roster from year to year.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there's certain things that Coach Strauss and Coach Sharman do to keep that, it's a long season. You're playing every day, so they do a lot of team bonding. They make it a fun atmosphere. If you're looking for a sport here that you want to enjoy, that would be the one to go out for. So listen, let's see what they can do in the future. Again, they're going to bring back a lot, and we're going to be competitive again and reach some of those goals again next season.
Lastly, football improved massively this year. If we look at their stats, their schedule, first time, the only loss was against Collingswood in 31-14. Went 9-1 on the season, and this is a huge jump from last year where I believe they went 4-6, 4 and 7 maybe?
4-6 last year to 9-1 this year. Again, bringing back the majority of the roster. You lose your quarterback this offseason, but you're returning most of the offensive line, most of your defense. We got to get some skill positions on the outside kind of situated. But I know that talking to some of the coaches, Coach Barrett, Coach Wiggins and them, that they're confident they're going to have that talent there again. And 9 wins is an incredible year.
I see improvements from last year too, but if you look back to our freshman year and our sophomore year, we didn't have the best football team, and to improve in just 2 years to 9 wins when we barely won a game our freshman year, it's a huge improvement for them.
Yeah, so it's the best part of the West Jersey Football League is that every 2 seasons they kind of regroup you and put you in a division with teams that you can compete with. And we were sitting around 500 last year with the teams in our division, and we're going to definitely move up this year, whether it's a division or 2. So I'm excited to see what they do next year in a way more competitive schedule. That kind of schedule will help kind of propel them into the playoffs. So we missed out on a playoff opportunity probably by a narrow margin, but with the tougher competition and hopefully some wins, we'll be right in the mix next year for the playoffs.
The team had 333 points on the year, averaging 33 a game, 4th most all time. That's huge. That is a huge milestone to reach.
It's incredible, yeah, especially in like high school football dynamics today, where you get up by a certain amount and that clock runs. Scoring 33 points is like awesome. It's nothing. It's nothing to sneeze at. So the thing I'm most impressed about is not just the points, is that we felt like we had a shutout like every other week. I think we had like 4 or 5 shutouts this year, or low-scoring games from our defense. So
that's what I was going to say. When you have an offense putting up 33 points and the defense isn't letting anybody.
It's a great mix, isn't it?
It's a great mix.
It's a great mix. Not many teams are kicking field goals like we are in high school football. So you keep them out of the end zone, you're probably going to be in the game. And with those 33 points a game, we're just sitting pretty.
I mean, field goals. Jeremy Clark is on the all-conference, as well as so many players making the first team. Jermaine Stewart will be returning. Taim Sally is graduating. Jaden Ellie Ward, quarterback by Adelini Desi Mullen. Liam Crawford, Will Nicholas, Renee Camacho, and Justice Schleihall. Then Julian O'Donnell and Mason Boyd got the honorable mentions. Extensive list, something we wouldn't have thought of a year ago.
Yeah, this list is quite impressive. I mean, you could put together a first-team offense or a first-team defense with that group right there. Good for them, right? All deserving. I would like to see Mason kind of get the nod for a first team. I thought he played at a first-team level. But, that kind of fuels a kid like Mason. He's going to get out there and work hard, knowing that, honorable mention is not good enough for him. So I expect him to be in that first-team consideration next year.
We keep on bringing up, like, the young team, too. If you look at that list, too, I only saw 3 seniors on that list.
3 seniors.
There's a bunch of juniors coming back, sophomores, juniors coming back, and they're hungry for next year, and they can't wait to come back and
Look,
play.
they're going to have a lot to prove next year.
Yeah.
So people are going to be hungry to play Sterling next year. That 9-1 record, people are going to circle that game on their calendar from whenever it comes out, and hopefully January, the schedule.
Now, I've been circling this segment on my calendar. The side notes with I know coming up right now to round things out.
Here we go. The best part of the show, right? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so the first things first here is that we have one more soccer game for the girls. So this coming Monday, so November 24th, they're going to be playing in the All-Star game. So every year, the Tri-County Conference and the Colonial Conference play like a senior game, like a senior All-Star game. So the girls are going to play at Clayton High School at 5 p.m. Next Monday. So if you want to check that out one last time, I believe Monty and Maddie Sims are playing in that game. So good luck to them in their last official high school soccer game. Quick plug here for the Turkey Trot. Okay, Thanksgiving Day here. I think the phrase they go with is earn your Thanksgiving dinner. So get out there, get your miles in. This is a great event. It's growing every year. I think it's like $10, and then children under 10 are free. So you're kind of making that donation to our cross-country program, and this is just an awesome thing to be part of. Last year was a little rainy, so hopefully there's some better weather. But get out there for the Turkey Trot on Thanksgiving Day. And then last thing I got is Spirit Week here. Okay, so here's the list here. Right now we're on Monday, so Pajama Day. Probably my favorite day of the year so far. I got to wear sweatpants and a shirt to work. Tuesday is Dresses Your Hallway. So I'm going to bring my kids up here for sure because some of these themes are awesome. The 9th grade had a Monsters, Inc. theme. The 10th grade was Encanto, and if you haven't seen that movie, that's a sleeper right there. Definitely go and check that one. Inside Out for the 11th grade and Toy Story. So if you are Dressing up here on Tuesday, you're going to dress as your hallway there, so match your grade. Wednesday, you're going to dress as your initial. So for me, my first name's Ken, so I would dress as a kangaroo. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but that's kind of how that goes. Thursday's Throwback Thursday, so this is your 90s decade, your 2000s. Be cool, be the 2000s. Wear that baggy shirt, the backwards hat, pants, long shorts and everything. And then Friday, the last one here is your class color. So I'm not sure what they are, but you guys should know that now, so dress as your class color. The freshmen are in blue, I see here. The sophomores in white, the juniors in gray, and then the seniors in black. So that's all I got there for my side notes with Ciano.
Now, we need to know something real fast.
Go ahead.
Best hallway. It's a pressing matter. You need your opinion.
Oh, man. Wow.
There's a right answer.
Ooh. So you want me to say Toy Story, of
No,
course.
I didn't
Do
say
you?
that. I didn't say that.
Oh, you want me to say
I just said there's a right answer.
Oh, I don't know. I was down there. I took a nice walk through. I love Disney. I'm a huge Disney fan. Like, I'm waiting for my turn to be on the Disney on the senior trip. I'm biding my time right now. But I don't know if I could pick. I'm going to take the cop-out answer. I can't pick
All
one.
right, well, this is a more interesting question then, since you love Disney. Favorite park at Disney?
All right, so I'm going to go with Magic Kingdom because I'm a huge fan of the fireworks. But there's also this event at Epcot that adults get to do that's a very good time. So I also like Epcot as well.
Thank you to Mr. Ciano for coming on today. We'll be right back after the break with some insight on stars of the improving field hockey team, Alexis Johnson and Coach Galt.
And we're back with our second segment of the show. Highlight two of the most important pieces of the new success of Sterling's field hockey program. Coach Sharon Galt and all-conference player Lexi Johnson. How are you guys feeling today?
Feeling
Great.
good.
Great.
Feeling good.
Now we're going to start with some highlights going on, some questions for Lexi Johnson. Now you've taken a leading role as a freshman on this team, having the highest stats and goals and assists. How does that feel to be in that spot?
It feels great. It feels great that I can contribute to this season, especially having a lot of upperclassmen who are graduating this year. It feels great to be by their side and give them a successful season. Especially one of the highlights of my season this year was assisting Maddie Bellows' goal in our senior night. It gave me chills. It felt great that I could do that for her, especially because she had been talking about getting a goal all season, and just for me to assist that, it felt great.
Now, you've been coaching field hockey for a long time, Coach Galt. I mean, you had to take a break, then you came back in. You had to take place as the head coach midpoint in the season as Coach Morello stepped out for a bit. How is this experience, knowing that you have all these young players? How does it feel to be coaching again for field hockey?
It feels, thanks for that question. It feels pretty awesome. I wasn't sure if I wanted to come back and coach. I was reluctant and thought maybe I'd just come in and fill in last year. And now that I'm doing it again, I love it. I think I want to do it for as long as Sterling will let me, to be honest.
Now, you also coached swim at a point here.
I did.
What's the main difference from coaching swim and coaching field hockey?
Well, I mean, the sports are different, right? Swimming is an individual's sport, and hockey's a team sport. I mean, they're both teams. You're trying to get points. I think the difference in preparation, and Strauss used to coach with me too, is, for swimming, preparing a lineup, pretty much knowing the points. Like by the end of a meet, you would pretty much know how well you were going to do and how close you were going to score. Before you even went into it. Field hockey's a little different, depending on the athletes and depending on the day.
Yeah, obviously the sports do make a big impact on what the coaching means, and it also changes how you talk to the players. And I want to get back to Lexi Johnson real fast. I mean, you've had a long field hockey career throughout your short time living. You've had a long time of that playing field hockey. How long has it been exactly, if you know?
Yeah, it's been a long time. I've played field hockey since I was in kindergarten. I started out on just a normal town team in-house, as you see on the picture. And then as I got a little bit older, I started to really enjoy the sport. So I started playing for a high-level club team in 5th grade. And I've been on the same club team ever since. I really found a love for it and just the people that come along with it too.
Now, that leads perfectly into the next question I had for you. What about field hockey keeps you playing?
I've really continued to play field hockey throughout the years because it allows me to meet so many new people and my coaches who have now all become my best friends on and off the field. Also, I get to go so many new places and explore so many new things, especially with my team, like team dinners. I mean, I went to Disney like 3 times for field hockey, so that's really awesome to get to experience that with my team. And yeah.
Outside of Disney, where have you traveled with this team?
I've traveled Florida, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, a lot of places. So just, it's more than a sport.
So
It's
where was that taken then?
That was taken at the Gloucester Township Fields when I was younger, playing for the town team that I started off on.
Now, to move back to Coach Galt for just a second, obviously having a lot of impressive youth players, especially coming up and already here on the roster, as a coach, how do you take that information in and make sure everyone gets a pretty even amount of time to develop? Because a lot of the new players, you're losing a couple of seniors that have been pivotal. How do you choose who to lead when you have so much freshman and sophomore representation?
That was really challenging this year. You know, we got to have good practices. Last year we had such a small amount of players. We'd only have 6 or 7 show up for practice, and it was hard to get a good practice in. So we have the practices that give the players a decent amount of playing time. And then also, you know, on the field, unfortunately, just playing varsity, the players don't get an even amount of time. They just don't. Some teams have given us the opportunity to play a little bit of JV, and that's been helpful. But we're graduating 6 seniors, like you said. All of our players that came in this year and our 5 sophomores that we have all have a decent amount of experience. So I think, you know, next year, with the freshmen, we'll have everybody will get a good amount of playing time, and I think you're just going to see better and better from Sterling.
Now, coaching being a joint effort with Coach Morello, how does it feel to have that to kind of work off of and bounce off of, and have those ideas go from one to another and how the game should work?
Well, do you know Brittany, Coach Morello? Well, now she's Coach Meyer because she got married during the season. But Brittany was my student. So I love working with her. It's a lot of fun. It's been great to see her grow. And she's really a great role model for me. She is very good and disciplined and positive with the girls, and I love that. And she played collegiately, which is further than I ever got in field hockey. So she has a lot of knowledge about the game. But I think what's really great is this team, all the girls get along. They understand how to play and be friendly. And then all the coaches get along. Like, we just go out and have fun every day. And that's been the best part of this experience.
Now, we have 2 unrelated to field hockey questions, one for each of you. First being for Galt. The travel club is a huge part of what you do here, and we wanted to plug that a bit. What's your favorite part about running that, and what are you looking forward to involved with that?
You know, my favorite part about running that, and I think, you know, even Lexi talked about travel in the last question. Every time you travel and you go somewhere new, even if it's like a Saturday adventure to Philadelphia and you've never been before, right? You always learn something or get something positive out of that experience. So to take students and sometimes parents and family members and show them, like, we can go to another part of the world and speak a different language and learn how to relax, because in the US we're just going and going and going. That's my favorite thing, is I know going into it, travel always changes you. And did I answer your whole question?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Now, the one last question we have for you, what's going on in this picture that we have here, this last one of you? It seems to have met someone very important to the local area.
Yeah, after field hockey practice one day, my sister was playing on the middle school team, so I was like, okay, let's go get some pizza for lunch. So we go over to Nuccio's. You know, somebody comes out, and it's VJ Edgecombe, and we get a picture with him, and I just thought that was pretty cool.
To my understanding from when you told it before, you didn't have the context of who he was when you had gotten there.
No, I didn't. I didn't really understand who he was until a little bit after, when he really came in, filmed his commercial that he was doing with Nuccio's, and then got out. So I'm glad I got a picture with him.
Okay, well, that'll about do it for the 6th episode of Sand on the Sidelines and the last show covering all forest sports. We'll be back with the winter sports sooner than you know it, but for now we're saying bye. Thanks to Coach Galt and Lexi Johnson for the insight on the ever-growing field hockey program. Thanks to Ken Sayano and Nate Schwartz for their contribution to the show. And thanks to you for watching. Have a great day, and as always, go Knights.
Go Knights.